Mentoring is a relationship, right? Mentoring is more like any other kind of relationship you can talk about. Two people who are seeking to get married, first of all, get into a relationship. A man and his wife are in a relationship. Siblings are in a relationship. A teacher and a student are in a relationship, right? So a lot of us are in various relationships, and a mentoring relationship is just like that relationship. But you begin to talk about a toxic relationship when the relationship no longer seeks to meet the purpose or the main reason for which it was established, especially when one party begins to gain the upper advantage over the other one, where one party begins to suffer and another one is seemingly riding over the head of the next person. So you begin to talk about relationship becoming toxic in that regard. Now, like I said in my caption in the previous post, I said that the society I said because the society forbids us from saying some things, we tend not to think about those things at all. So, for instance, the society forbids you from speaking rudely, at someone who is older than you, and legitimately so. That is legit, right? You cannot do such things. Okay, I totally agree. And because that is in place, you now tend not to think about certain things. You seemingly just allow yourself fall into certain pits and holes, right, that now becomes very difficult for you to get out of, and you seemingly develop culture, out of that thing. You accept it as the norm, as the order of the day, as the value, as what should be, and then you begin to even pass it on to other people, and everyone around you begins to accept it as so. So we need to get to a point where we begin to think about certain things. Now, the grace of articulation is not given to everybody, and that is why I always like to add a caveat, where I say that, see, the fact that Tosin says these things just does not mean you have the right to just take on those things also and begin to say them, especially if you're a young person. That grace of articulation, I don't think it is given to everybody, but I pray for you, right, that you will have that grace of articulation as well, and that you will have people in your life who will encourage you and will not discourage you and allow you do these things. So we're going to be on Instagram. This is where I'm going to be sharing all of my thoughts about these 8 kinds of people. And we're getting into a new year. You're going to see all sorts of invitation, all sorts of classes, all sorts of advertisement, and so many people would want you to come along on a journey with them, making promises to you and several other things. Or some of your mentoring relationships that are already existing will metamorphosize, right? They will develop and grow to become something. It could now be negative, more negative, or as the case may be, right? You just need to be very watchful, and I really just sense that this needs to be done. I'm also doing this because I see a generation of young people who are just living life as it comes, right? Everybody wants to just get it quickly, do it fast, keep going, whatever happens, just literally careless, about life. I in the course of the day, earlier on, I had to get on a call with someone I hadn't spoken with in a long time, because I just don't want to be casual about the decisions that I'm making, because I need, a second opinion. I need another kind of person's opinion. I don't just want to keep talking to my peers, about what I'm going through. I needed to hear from somebody else And this person was able to guide me and put me through. So I say that to say this to you, that I have my struggles, I have my challenges, I have made certain mistakes, right? And maybe I would still make a few, but I also see the need to help young people understand why they need to watch out for certain things, especially when it comes to mentoring relationships and strategically positioning in order to find a mentor. So 8 signs that you are in a toxic relationship, or 8 toxic mentors you may find in the year 2022, and what you need to do about them. Please permit me to say this. Sorry, today is no makeup day, no earrings. Apologies, right? I think tomorrow we're going to come up with the makeup. I'm going out tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right? Yes, I'm going to see a movie tomorrow, so I would have my makeup on by God's grace. And I couldn't wear makeup today because I was just really tired. The moment you put up your flyer, that is when it seems all hell lets loose and you just don't feel like doing it. But I am here and I have to do this. I'm going to look at 2 or 3 of this kind of mentors, and I strongly want to hear your opinion. I'm using my back camera, so I may not be able to see your comments, but I can see a few from my laptop. Thank you very much. So the first kind of mentor is let's be friends mentor, and I'm starting from here because they are seemingly the funny types, right? So just so that we have a soft landing as we start, and then I'll get into the more serious ones as we progress. So I'm going to run through the 3 I intend to discuss this evening. The let's be friends mentor. This kind of mentor is one that I've seen mostly in the school setting and also in the church setting, right? Your mentor is getting to know you and getting to know you a little bit more, right? He seemingly now begins to enjoy the conversation. This mostly happens when you are in the opposite sex kind of relationship. It doesn't even matter if the mentor is married in a relationship or not, right? You just realize that it's getting a little bit further. So if you're a young person and you're still trying to understand what I'm saying, I'm going to give you several examples because I have been there before. So you go to fellowship and your mentor is staying back, right? Is staying back to still gist with you. After everybody is gone, both of you are still always left. It's always remaining the 2 of you because he's the mentor and he's the last to leave. So you're also enjoying the company and you wait because there is always something you have to discuss. There is always a question you have. There is always an issue that you want to resolve. Something is always bothering you, and you must bear it, you must say it out of your mind. So you have to wait until everybody is gone, and it is now becoming habitual. I believe somebody is beginning to understand what I'm saying. Or you have this mentor who says to you that you should feel free to tell him anything and everything, right? Or it could be vice versa. Maybe you're a guy and your mentor is the woman and she's telling you, just feel free to express yourself, say anything. You need to be able to see me as 4 things: your mentor, your pastor, your friend, and your confidant. You see that confidant part, that is when you guys are beginning to take it overboard, right? And in this scenario, trust me, your mentor is becoming the let's be friends kind of mentor, and you just need to be very cautious of what you're doing. One other trait of this kind of relationship is that you are enjoying the attention. Trust me, because you are that person that the pastor always looks out for. They want to know, was she in church yesterday? Was she in church last week? Everybody's in a bus ride, but you are that one person that the pastor looks out for to be sure that you were on the bus, right? So everybody knows that he likes you, he has a special likeness for you, and you are enjoying it. See, payday will come, right? Because you're already enjoying it and anything can happen. One of you may start to catch feelings, right? So when you get into that let's be friends kind of relationship, what you need to do is clearly just set boundaries. And most times mentees, we are unable to set boundaries at the beginning because we see it as a very difficult conversation. We see it as a very difficult conversation, honestly. But if you're unable to discuss it, right, the setting of boundaries, this is what I would encourage you to do. Set the boundaries in your mind. So tell yourself, hello, I am Tosin and I am not interested in taking this mentor-mentee relationship beyond what it is. I don't want to move into that let's be friends zone, especially if your mentor is married or in a relationship, or maybe their partner is not in the same circle, right? So you just don't want to get into that zone. You need to set that boundary in your mind. So you tell yourself, I am not his girlfriend, I am not his wife, I am going to be like Labake or any other brother in the fellowship, which means that when fellowship closes, even if I'm staying back to have a word with him, I'm not going to spend longer than every other person is spending with him. Once I'm done, and I'm leaving like every other person. Don't get into that zone where come rain, come shine, you are still with your mentor. After the general meeting is over, you will get into trouble, trust me. Okay, so that's one way you can handle it. You can also find accountability partners. Make yourself accountable to people. Tell your friends, okay, I'm going to see Mr. So and so, I'm going to see Pastor so and so, I'm going to be there from so and so time to so and so time. Please, once it is 8 o'clock, start calling me. You need to find people who will call you up and say, put the phone on speaker, I want to know where you are you still in his house? It's time for you to leave. Make yourself accountable to people, because trust me, people will just keep watching you. They're gonna keep looking at you in that fellowship as you are crushing on him or he's crushing on you, and they'll keep quiet. They won't tell you anything until one of you gets into trouble, and you really don't want that. So I'll move on to the next kind of mentor, and that is the let's be more than friends mentor, right? So now you people have even become friends, and the mentor is now telling you let us be more than friends. I see this happen mostly where both parties have to see each other very often. So maybe you are at work, right, and this person is the HOD of another department, and they're always giving you career advice, and you defer to them on every single thing, right? And you have to see each other very often, and maybe the person is actually eligible, right? The person can actually be is a potential spouse for you, and they are telling you let's be more than friends. Or I see this happen even in ministry, where the mentor is clearly a superior, more experienced person, maybe a music producer, and you are you're just an upcoming musician, you're an artist, right? You're a singer, so you're just starting life, and this person promises you everything, and they are now adding that they want you to be more than friends. Well, you need to weigh the options. Is this someone you like? They want it. They've said that they want it. Do you want it? Because if you don't want it, sadly so, it's going to affect that relationship. It's going to affect every promise that that mentor has made to you. It's going to affect every single commitment, everything that has been happening. So in this case, what I would advise is that you need to be very careful and cautious in how you pull out, because clearly you will have to pull out. You need to weigh all the options, count your cost. If I walk out of this mentoring relationship, what's gonna happen? I think I'm free. Okay. If I walk out of this relationship, what's going to happen? What am I going to lose, right? Is this person worth it? What this thing they're asking me, are they asking other persons? Are they asking other girls, right? So you need to bounce this off the people who know them, friends, relations, other mentees. You need to just know the kind of person that he or she is, right? So that you can be able to make honest decision on what you need to do. And if you have checked the box and you feel like, oh, okay, this person is good, and you want to go ahead, why not? We've seen different kinds of marriages where the mentor eventually married the mentee, right? It's funny, I know, but it happens. So if it's the kind of relationship that you want, why not? Please go for it. Go for it, but make sure that you have asked yourself all the questions. And in this case, you can also set boundaries in your mind, or have the conversation of boundaries with your mentor. If you have to pull out, you need to be very, very tactical about it. You need to make sure that you stay with all of the tenets of the agreement. If there was ever any legal document binding you, go back to it and stay with it, so that you don't get into situations that are messy, situations that drag your name in the mud. Because see, if you pull out abruptly, if you pull out anyhow, rudely, right, your mentor may badmouth you, and if that person may just make himself or herself look good, right? And then this might block your potential of getting other people, even nicer people, to mentor you, right? So you need to be very tactical about pulling out. You need to ask God for wisdom on how you will pull out, and you need to pray. You need to pray about it, okay? So the third mentor, or toxic mentor, that I'm going to talk about today, I haven't experienced it, so I may not really be able to give you the full details, but I trust God for wisdom to be able to pass on this knowledge. I just trust God, the Holy Spirit, for revelation. Now, this is the bully. This is the bully mentor. Clearly, in a mentoring relationship, somebody is usually at the top and the other person is on the receiving end, whether in terms of age, whether in terms of knowledge, expertise, experience, and so many things. Somebody has, more advantage than the other person, even though it's a mutually beneficial relationship. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be symbiotic, right? Yeah, so it's meant to be symbiotic and not parasitic, okay? So when it begins to look like it is parasitic, where one mentor is just always lording it over the mentee, then there is an issue. And this is what it looks like. Your mentor is meant to criticize your work. There is nothing bad. There is nothing wrong in that. In fact, all of these 8 toxic relationships, all of these 8 toxic mentors are human beings who are not perfect, just like you and I are not perfect. But what we are saying is you will get to a point in time in your life where you need to make certain assertive decisions, right? Which may not be wrong in themselves. It is just how you go about it that matters. So your mentor will always criticize you. There is nothing wrong in that. However, when a mentor beats you and criticizes your work, beats you to the point where you are down and you are not able to get back up, that is a bully, right? When they tell you what you're not doing right every time, and when you come to them, you just don't feel enough. When they are always recommending things that you are not up to, they are always insisting that you do things that you're clearly not able to. You don't have the means, you don't have the wherewithal. And because of that, they tend to victimize you or ostracize you. That's a bully. That's just a bully. Please, you need to learn and seek wisdom on how to walk out of that kind of relationship, because a mentoring relationship is meant to be like that which you have with your parents. So they're not in any way supposed to make you feel less than who you are or who God has made you. They're actually supposed to help you see the potentials and the greatness that God has placed inside of you, not to, beat you down and kill you in the name of criticizing you or in the name of they want to make you better. No. I mean, I was in a conversation with someone today who I can call a mentor, and this person was telling me the bitter truth, as in, hey God, right? And he had to say it in the nicest way. He had to help me see the trend. Yes, because this is somebody who has been observing me from school days. And he had to help me see the trend. It was like he helped me unpack my past and helped me to connect the dots, right? And he still kept saying, no, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, because you have grown. This was somebody who was literally even thanking me, first of all, for still calling him up, right, to seek counsel, right? And this person is saying, you are growing. I'm not going to take that away from you. And this person is saying that, there is still so much more, that you can become, and all of that. And this person is saying, and it's even making promises like, okay, we need to see, we need to discuss this, we need to discuss that, and all of that. But when a mentor just tells you the truth and makes you feel bad, insulting you on top of it, or even raining curses on you, because trust me, I've heard all manner, like people my age and people my age, actually people, my peers, have actually told me several things, right? And I begin to ask myself, so what are people who are younger than me actually even going through? And that is why we come, to platforms like this, where we can just, discuss these things. So if you know anybody at all who should benefit from this edition, or just this line of thought, I think you should send the link to them, forward this live Instagram live, forward this video, to the person, right? And if you stumbled on this by chance, just write your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. So we're going to be back by the grace of God tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about the other toxic mentors that you need to watch out for in the year 2023. In the year 2023, you will think, and you will use your mind, you use your spirit, you use your discernment, and you would allow the Holy Spirit, to lead you and guide you. This is not the year to just, make your decisions anyhow and follow just anybody in the name of wanting to be mentored. And it will shock you. A lot of people think that I'm so crazy about mentoring. Oh yes, I'm so crazy about mentoring, but the truth is, I've met people who tell me, hello, it's not by force, right? And the truth is, really, it is not by force. I can't begin to tell you stories upon stories, even in Bible, about people who had mentors, and their mentors were imperfect, really imperfect. Samuel's mentor was totally imperfect, right? But God had to come to him. God had to train him. God had to teach him, right? Jesus's mentors, I realized today, right, were people who were clearly against him. The Pharisees, yes, those were the people he sat down with in the temple, and those were the people he spoke with, and these were the people who were marveled and astonished at the words that he spoke. Okay, but these were people who still had to, probably show him one or two things as he was growing up, but they didn't particularly like him eventually when he grew up. Okay, so many people will mentor you, but they are imperfect, and you cannot begin to judge them by their imperfections. You just need the wisdom on how to relate with them. So with that, I've come to the end of tonight's edition. I hope that it has been a blessing to you, and like I said, please forward this to any young person who you feel would benefit from it. I will come your way again tomorrow, but until then, do stay safe, stay sane, and have a wonderful time. God bless you, and bye-bye. Watulenti Yesu asobola, 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 Yesu Kristo. Asobola.